Hi, welcome back to the channel. This video is a before and after showing the conversion of the loft space in the 1930s property. You'll see that we took what was a dead space that was providing no value to the homeowner and made it into the best room of the house with an ensuite bathroom and all mod cons. If you want to check out more details, please look at the channel where we have lots more videos on loft conversions and much more detail. Before we get into the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already.
As you can see, the scaffolding has now gone up, which is part of the preparation. Now this scaffolding has got a tin roof on the top, which is designed to prevent rain getting into the actual property. This is just stage one of the scaffolding. The guys will be putting on tarpaulin all the way around the sides of this to prevent any horizontal rain, anything getting in through the sides. Let's go up this ladder and have a look at the roof itself. Here we are up on the scaffold, the top of the scaffold, and we can see the existing roof, which is the old concrete tiles, not in great condition. These will all be taken off and going to be replaced with new tiles. And you can see here they've got the sloped roof on the side of the building, and what we're aiming to do is to construct hip to gable like they've got next door, and you can see a good example of how it's going to look. So this pitched roof here will be replaced with a vertical wall, which they call a gable wall, gable end, and we're going to have tiles on it similar to what they have next door with a window. The house opposite actually has been done in a similar fashion, so you can see the two houses opposite here. One's got the pitched roof as it was originally on the right hand side, and the one on the left hand side has been fully extended and squared off for the hip to gable loft conversion, the same as what we'll be doing here with this roof. So we can walk all the way around the scaffold. This takes us on the side. You can see the same concrete tiles. We've got a nice walkway here, and then it takes us to the back of the house. In the back of the house, again, it's another pitched roof, so it's sloping up. If we look at the one next door, they've had theirs converted already. So they've got the one next door and the one next door to that. So they've got what they call the dormer, and you can see the original line of the roof from the white pitch, and then they built the dormer coming out to create all of the extra living space internally with the windows on the back for the ensuite and the bedroom. They've actually got a Juliet balcony. You can see it over, if we look at the house over the other side, it's got the same thing. So this is phase one. As I said, we've got the tin roof on here. You can see it's all corrugated iron, and that's going to provide shelter and protection when it does rain to keep the house from getting wet internally. But we'll see the tarpaulin go up on this. Now let's have a look at the inside of the property. They put some protection down for the existing flooring, otherwise we'd need to replace this at the end of the job. So we'll go up the stairs, more protective here, and then let's head on up into the loft space as it is now. There's an old loft ladder that was here originally, and then we'll just go up into the loft and have a look what we've got today. Okay, so here we are as we come up into the loft. Now, we had cleared out this loft, so there was previously an old water tank that was sitting in this part here, which was removed a couple of months ago, and we've actually put some boarding down. So this floor, this has actually got some hardboard, chipboard floor at the moment, so you can see that's all the way through, so it's quite clean up here. But as we said before, this floor is not suitable for taking a lot of weight. So if we come up into the loft, we'll see that all of the old roof structure trusses are all still up here. We've got you can see the roof itself, the felt on the inside's in reasonably good condition, and all of the woodwork looks okay as well, but this is all going to go. Now up here, interestingly, at some point in the past in this house, they removed the chimney breasts at the back of the property, and they've not done it at the front, so the front has still got all the chimney breasts in place. And then where you have two sets of chimney breasts, they meet in the middle here to go up to the chimney stack. Now they have, where they've taken off this rear chimney breast, they've inserted what they call a gallows bracket. And this gallows bracket is supported by the party wall. You can see, if I walk around to the side, you can see that it is a triangular structure that sits out, supports the bricks for the chimney stack above it, and then it comes down to a taper and is supported by 3 or 4 bricks on each side that are fixed into the party wall. So these gallows brackets are quite common if you've had an old house where the chimney breast has been taken out, but building control these days are not too keen, because if you have both neighbours who have a gallows bracket and the people next door had their chimney supported by it, you'd have the whole of this chimney stack would be supported by the party wall, which if it was in high winds potentially could cause damage. So as part of this build, we are replacing this gallows bracket. We're going to put a steel across the floor, and then there'll be a steel plate underneath this, which we will then brick up to the bottom of that gallows bracket, so that all of the weight is then taken by the steel beam rather than the party wall itself. So just looking around the rest of this attic space, it's all fairly, it's in good condition, but all of this woodwork is going to be removed as part of the build. We're going to be taking off the whole of the back roof, all the side roof, all the front roof, and replacing it with a new structure. And if we look up, we've got quite a high ceiling in here. This is the ridge beam. And you can see at the moment it's only relatively small because we've got all the pitched roof. That ridge beam is going to be taken out and replaced by steel. So here we are, week 1 of the loft conversion. Everything's ready to go. We've got the scaffolding in place. We've got everything ready to be ripped out starting on Monday. The steels are being delivered Monday. So this roof will be stripped off. We'll do some preparation work on this party wall because we've got our party wall agreement in place. So we're allowed to cut holes into this party wall, which will then, we'll put a steel plate into the hole, and then the new steel beam will sit in that hole, and then it will move all the way across the steel beam, will be put on another plate on the external wall of the property.
So we start off here with the new staircase that's been installed. You can see that the balustrading has all been fitted and painted in. And just wanted to highlight the nice work that's been done on the plaster work to tie in the existing ceiling to the new sweep. Very nice curves here. And the new balustrade has been fitted alongside the existing balustrade. Now the spindles are not exactly the same. You can see if you look closely, they're not identical. However, now that they're painted in and tied together, they work really well, and you would never notice unless you're looking really closely. The staircase, we've made a video, you can see that separately, showing how we clad this staircase in oak to tie into the existing floors. But an important point here is we fitted an actual window into the stairwell, which brings in a lot of light and makes it feel part of the existing house. If you don't have that, you'll always have to have the light on when you go up these stairs, and it feels dark and it feels a bit more like an attic still. So I definitely recommend adding a window, especially if you're doing a hip to gable where you'll have a straight wall. So these stairs bring us up nicely to the new door that's been fitted. We have a quick look back down. You can see the fantastic oak finish ties in very well with the oak floors on the existing house. The new door, we had to fit new fire doors as part of the loft conversion under building regulations. So we took the opportunity to put real oak doors in with a nice handle, and now we can step through into the room. So the first thing that strikes you is the fantastic oak floor and the 2 Velux windows that we have installed on the pitched roof. So looking around, the real oak floor really gives this a sense of space. It opens up fantastically well, gives a really big feel to the room. Walking over towards the window, this is at the back of the dormer structure, so we've got a vertical wall. We've fitted a nice radiator here, and you can see through down into the garden. Really nice vista. and looking back across the room. So we've got the big oak floor, we've got the two cupboards at the far end, we'll go in there in a minute, and we've got the built-in wardrobe and the secret desk space around the side. But the oak floor was a real winner here. I can't stress that enough. If this was carpet, it wouldn't have as much of a wow factor. Really impressive. We've got great ceiling height in this room as well. We managed to get about 2.4 meters internal, which is really high. We're going over towards the storage, the built-in storage area. First thing we'll have a look at is the desk or dressing room area we've managed to create. Now this is quite small, so it's about 1.2 meters wide by about 2 meters deep, but it's certainly deep enough to fit a desk. So these days people are looking for home office working space. Think about how you're planning your loft. You can have an area like this as well. This could have been dead space, we could have closed it off, but we wanted to utilize as much as we could. The same goes for these eaves cupboards. We've made sure we've maximized the usable space here. So this is about 1.2 meters deep as well, and it's full width of the house, so it's almost 6 meters from side to side. So that's giving us a huge amount of storage space. It's sloping ceiling, so it's slightly restricted, but you'll be able to put your suitcases, Christmas trees, all the things that you want to store in here, put them in boxes. Really nice usable space. You'll see in the other videos we made a point of making the floor continuous, so it's the same floor throughout, but it really gives you a lot of extra storage space, which you usually lose when you do a loft conversion. You lose all the storage space, so you've got to think ahead about how to plan your storage. And there's another video on that which you can see in our series. We're going over to the wardrobe. We had to bring the door forward 850 mil, so we had a space here that naturally fitted to being a wardrobe. So we've fitted it in. We've put a hanging rail in. That's 1.2 meters above the floor. You can see the floor continues through, and we put skirting board inside the cupboard to make it look as finished as possible. So we've got the hanging rail 1.2, that leaves a bit of space beneath it, and then above that we've fitted in 3 shelves. So we've got the first shelf directly above the rail, the second shelf is about 300 above that, and then the third shelf is a hidden shelf. So we've got some space at the top, so you can see these 2 storage shelves, and then a bit above the top is sloping ceiling, but it gives you just that ability to store things in boxes, just extra storage, which is what everybody wants these days. Moving over to the ensuite shower room, we've got the same fittings. We've got nice polished chrome fittings throughout the whole loft and the whole house. So the same door that we have throughout the house, nice oak door, really not that expensive, but gives you a really high quality finish. Nice chrome handle. And then going through into the bathroom, this has been fully tiled. So we've fitted a walk-in shower to the left. This is 1.2 meter deep shower, so it's quite significant, it's quite spacious. Nice sliding door. Then we've got the chrome fittings, so we've got the overhead shower and the handheld shower. We've built in some storage space here, so you've got lots of space to store all of the shampoos and shower gels. We've got an overhead, oversized shower head. Really quite a luxurious finish. This is the type you'd get in a high-end hotel. And coming across, we've got a vanity unit, which is floor mounted. So this gives us more extra storage. It's got a built-in sink when you buy this unit. So a little bit more expensive than buying a normal sink, but it does give you that high-quality feel. And then inside, you've got more storage for bleach and anything else that you want in your bathroom. We've fitted a chrome bottle trap to this just to give it a little bit of higher quality feel. We've got a close coupled toilet alongside that. Neat, modern, slow closing seat, really quite effective look. And then we've put a large mirror above that. So mirror's not expensive, really quite a cheap finish, but just gives you that quality look. And we've put some of the tile trim that we used on the tiles. You can see in the other videos we've done, the tile trim gives you that really nice clean edge to where you've got a corner for your tiles. we fitted this around the mirror and it gives it that really high-end feel. Just a little bit of extra finishing touch that's well worth it. Got a shaver socket on the wall so you can plug in your toothbrush, and up here we've got a little storage area. We've got some spare lighting and also access to the lights that are in the cubby holes. The extractor fan, which is a requirement, and the building regs. We've got a little bit more expensive, more modern version. You can see the tile trim here. This shows around the edge of the window how we finished it. So it just gives it that slightly more high quality feel. We've got a little bit of mosaic that we put through the tiles. You can see that on the other videos that we've done. A bit more detail on that, but just breaks up the grey finish. And then finally we've got the towel rail, which again not super expensive, but just looks a nice quality finish if you get something a little bit more decorative than standard. So looking back into the room, we've got everything here has been siliconed, so we've got a nice clean white finish, easy to maintain. We'll keep everything super watertight. So really nice finish to the job that we've done here. High quality bathroom. It's only 1.5 meters deep, not a deep bathroom. So we've utilized the space well, but it's got everything you need. It's got the toilet, the sink, the shower, the radiator, and then finally we've done a threshold between the two floors. So we put a wooden threshold in here just to give it that modern feel.
Along the top here, the ridge tiles have been put in place, and the final section of the front tiling for the roof has been done. We saw yesterday that they were fitting the edge to this. That's all been completed now. We'll have a look at the finish on that in a bit more detail in a minute. And also the front skirt down into the gutter has been put into place. What we've got up here then now is a completely finished roof structure.
The tin roof from the scaffold has now been taken away, and the roof has been exposed to the elements for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So you can see that the top coat has now completely set. It's slightly lighter in colour. You can see some water sitting on the top of the roof, which you always get with a flat roof. Even though we put a pitch on this, there's always going to be a little element of water sitting here and there. But as we look around the front of this, you can see that the top coat of the resin has now completely set and has formed a complete surface. It's a skin on the top of the underlying fiberglass and the resin that we put as the first 2 coats. So this is all the way down the side where we join the neighbours. You can see the lip that we created, and then looking across this roof, it's looking really quite impressive. If you remember, this is just plyboard with 3 layers of resin over fiberglass, but modern technology and the quality of these chemicals means that this roof will last for a minimum of 20 years. It's guaranteed for 20 years, but actually is likely to last for a lot longer than that. So this has been really easy to construct, really quick and clean. Not very many heavy materials required, so this is perfect for dormer roofs where you're working at height. So yeah, really impressed with the quality of this, and we haven't had any problems whatsoever. And then if we come here, we can see as we go across to the pitched roof at the front, this is more traditional tiled finish. This is looking nice. We've got the ridge tiles across the top, all looking fine and perfect. We haven't experienced any problems on this side of the roof either. No issues around the Velux windows. The tiles have now cleaned themselves up as they've been exposed to the rain, so they're looking nice and new and red. All the mortar at the side's been fine. We've got the vertical wall hung tiles, no issues with those. The windows are now all in. They've all been fitted, so it's all entirely watertight. So this roof system is holding up fantastically well. We're very pleased with it. We got it right first time round. This will last for the next 100 years or so at the front here, these tiles. This is a well-proven system.